When it comes to ASTRAOS, rat holes are hidden everywhere, so I proudly present top 10 unseen rat holes on ASTRAOS. Coming at number 10, this can be found at 28.5 latitude and 37.7 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this is a very awkward rat hole. It is practically inside of the face of these giant statues. So yeah, a little bit of a weird one. Now you gotta be careful on official as you can get mesh hit here, which means it can kill you. But if you hit it at the right angle, you can still get in here. Now, it's a super awkward space to just build in the first place, but surprisingly, there's quite a lot of room in here. So if you put some foundations down here, you can easily add a little base in here. You know, you can put InstancedFoliage or Replicator, and you also have some extra room inside of the arms. Now this works on both of the statues as well, so there's technically two bases. Yeah, pretty awkward spot to live in, but I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do with this spot. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code OUTCAST and you will get 25% off your entire order. If you're looking for a great alternative to coffee or just a way to get you going in the morning, Mitra is definitely the way to go. Now, back to the video. Coming at number 9, this can be found at 23.1 latitude and 41.2 longitude, and then there it is on the map again. Now can be found right next to this giant waterfall, which is awkwardly moving way too fast. Anyways, down here in the water, you have this little area where it kind of opens up. I just put a vacuum compartment just to kind of show you guys the true size of it. But yeah, as you're coming straight through here, it's a tiny little opening, but you can fit through there. Then it opens up into this like medium-sized room. It's just really tall. Then you have half of it being water, and then the other half being, you know, just a giant like air bubble in a way. But if you use some cliff plats in here, it will make for a really good, super hidden base. Like, I mean, I guarantee you a lot of people are really not even going to touch you here. Well, until this video comes out, of course. But yeah, it does make for a pretty phenomenal base spot. Coming at number 8, this can be found at 11.7 latitude and 44.5 longitude. Now this can be found right over here next to the Wyvern Cove, I believe it is, or like the Wyvern Scar kind of thing. Anyways, look right over here and you'll find this like little triangle area. And then as you're going down in here, it opens up into a like kind of a small rat hole. It's nothing too crazy. It's really meant for a small tribe or like a solo or duo looking to kind of build a couple little hidden things in here just for a little bit. Or if you're just looking to build in a spot where not a lot of people are really going to mess with, this is a good one for you. But again, it's not that big. Coming at number 7, this can be found at 25.4 latitude and 40.2 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this is another pretty decent rat hole. It's not a big one, but it is a nice one for like a small or a medium tribe looking to build just super hidden and very compact. As you can see right over here, there's a decently sized opening. It's pretty easy to spot. But yeah, as you're coming on in, if you can see with the size of the foundation, that shows you the true scale of it. You know, it's nothing too crazy, but you are able to fit a good amount of stuff in here. Now, you can't fit anything crazy like an InstancedFoliage or a Replicator, but for an unofficial spot, this would make for a great spot if you're looking to build a nice little compact base. Overall, it's not a bad spot. It doesn't really keep going back down here. I mean, it has a little area, but can't really put anything back down in this corner. So, but yeah, it does make for a pretty decent one. Coming at number 6, this can be found at 8.3 latitude and 15.8 longitude. Then there it is on the map. This can be found over at the Gold Palace on the very top of the map, and this place is just covered in rat holes. This is another one that I actually missed out on. It's a completely separate room. It does kind of look like the one from the last video, but I promise you it is a separate room, so it does not even connect to it. Anyways, this entrance is very difficult to get into. I'm not exactly sure how to do it, I'm going to be honest, so I'm just going to kind of leave it up to you guys. I tried with a Pelagornis, it doesn't really work. But if you get them into that middle room and then you have a second Pelagornis, it might just work. Anyways, as you're coming on in here, there is a ton of room. You shouldn't really be running out of room. I mean, you can run out of room in here. It is still a little bit tight. But compared to the other rat holes on this list, this is probably one of the biggest ones. So yeah, it does make for a pretty good base spot. If you're looking for a good rat hole, go to that Gold Palace. This thing is absolutely covered in rat holes. Coming at number 5, this can be found at 58.2 latitude and 31.0 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this can be found right over here on this little like kind of cliffside island mountain thing. It's interesting. But yeah, anyways, I didn't even really see this one, and I've flown past it so many times. It's a slight like water entrance / air entrance that has a water area as well as a giant opening area above it. As you can see, as you're coming in, opens up into this pretty big room. You don't have a lot of area to work with, but it's just really wide and long and just really tall. But with some cliff plats in here, you can easily build a ton of stuff in here. You know, Indy Forges, replicators, all that good stuff, as well as having a lot of room for some dino storage as well. Now, this spot, I don't know if it's going to get patched or not. It might, but it almost looks like it was purposely built here. So I'm really not sure what they're going to do with this spot. But it is one of the best spots on this map by far. Having that water entrance is going to downgrade it though, as people can still raft raid. But yeah, here's your underwater area. Nothing too wild here. You know, a little bit of flat land in here, so maybe put some vacuum compartments or something. But you can't do too much underwater. Coming at number 4, this can be found at 60.1 latitude and 46.5 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this can be found over on the side of the clamshell. Just go look on the far right side of it and you'll find this little tiny entrance, which is pretty much invisible to the eye. You have to just kind of find it. But yeah, it's big enough to fit a player, and inside you have a decent amount of room. You also have a nice little air bubble pocket kind of in here for you to breathe. So that's always kind of an upside of this, but still not a crazy amount of room. So if you're looking for a nice compact underwater base area with some, you know, just a good amount of room to fit some stuff, this is definitely a good one for you. It doesn't really go back any farther in there, but it does kind of go up a little bit more. And by the way, on the opposite side of this clam is another rat hole. I've already gone over that one. It is a much bigger rat hole. So if you're looking for that one, go to the other side of it. Coming at number 3, this can be found at 79.0 latitude and 30.7 longitude. And this can be found on the map over by this just giant remote island. It's basically just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, anyways, this kind of looks like it's supposed to be a cave, but believe it or not, it is actually not a cave. It's a mess up, or they forgot to just finish this thing because there's nothing in here, meaning it's not really a cave. So I'm going to classify it as a rat hole, and you'll see what I mean here in a second when we go into the back room. But yeah, that's your first room. Over here on the side, it kind of goes back farther. This is a really tight area though, so I would recommend building your main base, honestly, back here. But yeah, this back room is built really awkwardly, almost like it's not supposed to be here. So yeah, as you can see, and this entire thing is literally just the perfect flat surface, meaning there's no curves, no edges. But yeah, right here, this just doesn't look like it's supposed to be here, which is why I have it on this list. But it also makes for a pretty amazing base spot, as you have a lot of room and a lot of super flat land. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 13.0 latitude and 45.2 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this can be found again over by the Wyvern Scar area. This one can be found directly above it on the highest little kind of like mountain tip area. But yeah, right over here, as you can see, there is a nice little tiny opening which actually opens up into one of the best rat holes on this map. As you can see, it is a little bit of like a longer entrance, meaning you can put some spam turrets in here maybe, and have your main turret wall or just main spam area up top. But this one kind of guides up, meaning that it's going to be an absolute pain to figure out how to raid this thing. If you can defend this one right, it could honestly be an unraidable rat hole. Here's your first room. You know, it's nothing too crazy, but there's just a lot of room to work with. You're going to have to use cliff platforms though. It's the only way to really build in here, except for this other area. This other area is a little bit more flatter, so you can place some stuff down like right here, but I would still recommend just using cliff plats. It looks pretty small on camera, but I'm telling you, this one is actually much bigger than it looks. Coming at number 1, this can be found at 62.8 latitude and 62.5 longitude. Then there it is on the map. Now this can be found right on the volcano island, and I don't know how I missed this rat hole. I really don't, considering it's literally right next to one of the other rat holes. Anyways, if you go directly in the middle of the pathway and fly up into the ceiling, you'll find this pretty insane rat hole. The entrance is practically unraidable. The only thing that you can fit in here is a PT and maybe a snow owl, maybe, but even then that's kind of pushing it. And then it opens up into this little room. Now this first room is kind of like, well actually this is all the same room. So yeah, technically it looks smaller on camera. It is a lot bigger than you think. It just has a crazy amount of room in here. A good amount of room down there, but you know, nothing else that's too crazy. It's pretty much equivalent to that last rat hole. But anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to go check out Mitra9. Thanks for watching.